Welcome to this week's weekly Pan-African News Roundup on the Kente Business Journal. Here we serve you with all the major news headlines across Africa and the African diaspora. My name is Rahel Akosia Oredra Opoku.
In the headlines, Nigeria retains Africa's top oil producer spot. Pan-African Jobs Center is set to create over 300 million jobs for African youths. And lawyers in Egypt strike to protest imprisonment of 6 colleagues. Now the news in details. Nigeria has sustained its position as the largest oil producer in Africa for 2 straight months, as it pumped about 1.3 million barrels per day in December, according to the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries data. The latest monthly oil market report released by OPEC on Tuesday shows that Nigeria's oil output increased by 50,000 barrels per day based on direct communication. Last month, Timothy Silva, Minister of State Petroleum Resources, said that improved security surveillance along major crude oil pipelines is helping to shore up oil production from about 900,000 barrels per day to between 1.4 and 1.6 million barrels. The minister said oil majors in the country drastically cut down production due to massive vandalism and theft of crude oil in the Niger Delta region by criminal elements. Milikari, Group Chief Executive Officer, Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, or the 13th Global UAE Energy Forum held recently, said that by the end of December, Nigeria was pumping 1.519 million barrels per day. And in Egypt, the Egyptian Bar Association announced Thursday an indefinite strike to protest the imprisonment of 6 colleagues for a brawl with clerks earlier this month. On Wednesday, the Criminal Court of Massa Matou sentenced 6 lawyers to 2 years in prison following a brawl between them and 3 court clerks in the coastal city on January 5, according to the state-owned daily Al Aram. The Egyptian lawyers believe that there was a clear intention to keep their colleagues in custody without real justification and denounce a rush to bring them to trial without taking the time to conduct a real investigation. The lawyers of the 6 convicts have appealed the decision, and the court is expected to consider their request on Sunday. In December, thousands of Egyptian lawyers demonstrated outside the union's headquarters in central Cairo, an unusual occurrence in a country where public demonstrations are banned, to protest a new electronic billing system introduced by the Ministry of Finance. And in Uganda, the emerging monopolistic tendency has become visible in the dominance of 2 telecoms that share between them more than 95% of the market share. Commenting about the Ugandan National IT Survey 2022 report by National Information Technology Authority Uganda, Dr. Omifer, the Alliance Against Monopoly Africa Advisory Director, said regulators must catch the monopolistic hydra, whose tentacles continue to block innovation and competition, especially in the telecom sector. He said these telcos wield so much power over the market, bordering on regulatory capture, that it has become difficult for new players to penetrate the market and provide innovation and competitive pricing. The study further indicates that while 55% of businesses have internet access, 44.7% said they do not have access due to the high cost of internet services and equipment. Mr. Omifer said the internet must be delicately protected from the excesses of capitalism, noting that regulators must take keen interest in the regulation of the telecommunications sector to control end-user costs. Ken Charles Lambert, the creator of Compassionate Capitalism and Investment Opportunity, has announced the creation of the Pan-African Jobs Center, a program that is aimed to curb unemployment in Africa with the creation of over 300 million jobs for youths. The founder, Charles Lambert, announced that these jobs will be created through the 28 points of the Compassionate Capitalism. He's added that this development will aid in building industries to help control production. Somalia's government and Al-Qaeda-linked fighters both claimed more than 100 people were killed Friday in their deadliest battle since the government launched a major military offensive against the extremists in August. The government, in a statement, asserted that more than 100 Al-Shabaab extremists died after they attacked a Somali National Army base in the Galgaduud region village. The government statement said 7 soldiers, including an officer from the elite US-trained Danab Brigade, were killed in the intense attack, but asserted that the military remained in control of the base. The government expressed gratitude to international allies that assisted in the battle. And in Rwanda, street tennis has become a new sport recently introduced to Rwandans following the communal partnership established between Rwanda and Barbados. Often played in recreation areas and residential areas, this sport can also be used to develop tennis skills, organize regional tournaments, or attract tourists. Rwanda is the first African country to host this sport, and its sports officials say as affordable as the game is, they believe it can create opportunities for tourism. Hundreds of people in Burkina Faso's capital, Ouagadougou, have marched to demand the departure of the French ambassador Luc Alade from the country. The demonstration was called by a political group known as the Pan-African Leaders Collective. The group is calling for the withdrawal of the 400 French special forces stationed in the country. French troops withdrew from Mali last year after a 2020 coup in the former French colony saw Israelis inch closer to Russia. Since last year's coup in December, that strengthening ties with Russia has become a priority for Burkina Faso.
That's it for this week's weekly Pan-African news on the Kente Business Journal. Kindly subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell to stay updated always. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. Catch you next weekend.
Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do not forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel Kente Business Journal TV and press the notification bell to stay updated always.